Good morning. It is our first day in Vancouver. This is my mom.
Hi guys.
So today we are going to head to Stanley Park, do some bike riding. We're also going to check out the Vancouver Art Gallery and then just see what else is downtown and kind of get a feel for the metro area of the city. So first we got to get on the bus and kind of figure out the public transportation system so
There's no Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, there's no Uber or Lyft in Vancouver, so it's going to be a learning experience.
And I let her create the entire schedule, so I'm just letting her do what she does and I'm following.
Well, I'm a planning freak, so that's usually what happens. So
it works out better that way.
Okay, so we're gonna figure out the bus situation and we'll check in with you once we are kind of more settled in and get our bearings.
Yep.
So we just got off the bus at Lonsdale Quay Sea Bus Terminal and we're using these compass cards to get around. We're gonna go ahead and fill it up, and that basically covers all of the public transportation here in Vancouver, which is really convenient. So we are in downtown Vancouver now, and we found the Vancouver Art Gallery. We're waiting for it to open. The building itself is so gorgeous. I love the stairs outside where it looks very Met-ish. The Met Gala just happened like as I'm filming this, so that's fresh in my mind. But the exhibit is Monet to Matisse, which is going to be really fun. I really like Monet. It's like one of the artists that I know of the art. So we found this art lady and she looks just like my mom. What the heck? That literally looks just like you. We found your doppelganger.
Young woman of Albano.
Here's one of the Monets they have on display.
Like this, that's very Monet right there.
This wire art, you can see like the outline of bodies.
Yeah, I can see a man.
So I really enjoyed the gallery. There was just a little bit of everything. There was photography, painting, sculptures, interactive stuff, which was really fun. So no matter what kind of art you're into, you'll find something at the Vancouver Art Gallery. Now we are gonna go find some lunch. My mom is vegan, I am not, but I'm always down to eat whatever. I'm pretty hungry, so we're gonna do a little bit of exploring and see what's around. So we just took the bus. We are at like the home of Stanley Park, and even just the entrance is gorgeous. But we're gonna go ahead and rent some bikes from Yes Cycles and bike the seawall. So I'm not sure how much I'll be able to capture, but it's this way, Mom. We got our bikes. The people at Yes Cycle were very helpful and friendly. They were telling us a little bit about the city, getting us all set up. Now, it's been a long time since I've ridden a bike, so we're actually walking our bikes to the park until we get to the trail, because I don't want to ride my bike in the street. I am way too paranoid for that. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna set this up so that you can see, you know, the path, but maybe we'll make some stops along the way, and I'll show you a little bit of Stanley Park and the seawall. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit more confident with the bike riding. I can actually like spot things now on the side of the road, and we found the Stanley Park Pavilion, which is full of these beautiful gardens, really pretty photo ops, and just places to stop off and smell the flowers. And the tulips here are insane. I don't know if it's just because I was an LA girl and now I live in Vegas, so we don't get a lot of this, but I mean, look at these petals. So now we're exploring Chinatown a little bit. We're gonna go to the Dr. Yat-Sen Chinese garden, I think it's called. I will definitely correct myself right here. So here's the difference. What we're in now is the park, which is a public park, and there's still a lot to see and appreciate just for free in the public park, but I do want to go into the private garden, the Ming Dynasty garden home, and we can see even more. But I will say that for public access, this is still a gorgeous must-see spot. So inside you can get a free guided tour with admission, obviously, and they give you a little bit more information about the architecture and the history of the garden and what's inside. But honestly, if you're balling on a budget, you can probably just take advantage of the free public park. But if you want a little bit more of an immersive experience, then I would suggest actually buying entrance into the garden and taking that tour. So that is the wrap on our first day in Vancouver, a very, very full day. I definitely recommend doing Stanley Park. I think the bikes were really fun. Like I said, I got more confidence as we were doing it, so it would be a lot easier for someone who maybe was more familiar with bikes more recently than I was, but I definitely had a blast. And now we're just back at our Airbnb. We picked up some food from that Lonsdale Quay market, which I definitely want to explore more of. There seem to be so many booths with like souvenirs, but also a lot of good food, so we picked up some stuff to bring back and just eat here. And now we're just gonna chill for the rest of the night. Tomorrow we're headed to Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, which is like the #1 thing that I had on my list for this trip, so very excited to knock that out. I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, it is Thursday, it's my mom's birthday, and today we are at Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, which is what I've been the most excited for. It just opened, so hopefully we'll get some good views from the bridge. That bridge is crazy. It's definitely wobbly, but the view is just so awesome. You see all the water rushing and all the really tall trees and the break in the trees to see the horizon and the sun coming through and hitting the water. It's just really, really pretty. But yeah, it's definitely a little disorienting because the bridge does sway. But there's a lot more to do at the park other than the bridge, so we're going to check out some of the other attractions here. Okay, so the cliff walk is on the entrance side of the park, so you don't have to actually do the bridge if you want to go on the cliff walk, and it's a pretty narrow pathway, but it doesn't swing, so it might be easier for you if you're a little bit afraid of the idea of the bridge. Literally suspended off of the cliff, but it is a little bit more stable than the bridge, and the views just cannot be beat. There are a lot of steps though, so bring your climbing shoes. Look at this awesome lookout. It kind of reminds me of the Grand Canyon. You can totally see below you on these grates or through the grates, and then you're just surrounded by the glass walls. Whoa. You guys, my phone fell out of my selfie stick on the cliff walk. Everybody gasped. And I was like, it smells so good. The air is clean and sweet and piney. We are going to check out Vancouver Lookout, which is supposed to be the best view of the city. You go up into this tower. There's, I believe, a revolving view of the city. So let's check it out. Taken the bus and we are walking onto Granville Island now. We have a boat tour in a little bit, but for now we're going to explore the shops and the stalls that the market has to offer. So we're here at Vancouver Water Adventures. We're about to do their City and Seals tour with sightseeing around the water. We're gonna see some seals and just some interest points around the shore. And we're all doing it in a speedboat, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. A little nervous, but I think it's gonna be fun. That was a really, oh, the sun is just blocking me. That was such a fun tour.
So fun.
You definitely need to bring sunglasses, and I would even suggest something bigger than what I have because my eyes were watering from the wind.
Mine are fine.
I think he said we were going 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but it was really fun. We got to see the seals and just some really interesting points of Vancouver that now we know of. We might go visit them. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
So, but 100% recommend Vancouver Water Adventures. Dylan was an awesome tour guide. He knew a bunch of fun facts about the animals, about the city. So definitely check them out. Saturday, we are currently at the Lonsdale Quay Pier and Market. We don't have a lot planned for today until tonight, where we're doing a Forbidden Vancouver tour, which is kind of like, I guess, murders and underground history of Vancouver. But for now, we're just kind of exploring today. And we just found this really neat area of Lonsdale Quay where you can actually put a lock for your love, just kind of like in Paris. Yeah.
It has people's,
Oh wow, people actually get them
like,
engraved.
Look.
That's so cool. So the Lonsdale Quay Market is a great place to get a sample of a bunch of different ethnicities of food. Amazing smells inside. And then upstairs, there's a ton of retail shopping and like smaller boutiques. looked up different things to do today since it was a pretty open itinerary. We found this virtual attraction called a FlyOver Canada, and I think it's supposed to be like the FlyOver the World now, I think it's called, at California Adventure, where it's a virtual flight but you get to see a bunch of sights from like the area you're in. So we'll see how it is. I'm not sure if I'm going to be allowed to film inside, but I guess we can, we'll give you a recap afterwards. All right, so I couldn't film in there, but it was exactly like Disneyland's FlyOver the World. Like almost, I honestly think they were probably built by the same people. I don't know which one came first. I know FlyOver California was part of California Adventure's like first rides, but same exact experience, except that obviously it's for Canada. I could have done with a little less mist spraying in my face because it's a 4D experience. So, you know, you get the smells, you get the wind and a little bit of mist, but that was fun. That really made me feel like I was at Disneyland. We found a cat cafe and I'm so excited. Ooh, cats! This is my first cat cafe, so I'm freaking out. It is Sunday. We started our day out today at Roadhouse Museum, which is a preserved / restored Victorian home of a local family here in Vancouver. And it was really cool. I actually didn't expect to like it so much. It was just kind of something to do because we've done so much already. And I really loved seeing all the restored Victorian artifacts. They have all the rooms set up as if, you know, there was still a Victorian family living there. It was very cool. I definitely suggest it. It's only $5 to just walk through and see all the history, but it's neat to kind of step into another time. We are now at the Vancouver Aquarium, which is right in Stanley Park, and this aquarium is dedicated to preserving wildlife, rehabilitation, as well as education. We have some displays behind us about the problems with plastic in our oceans, so I really like that they're kind of doing their part in making this something that you can bring home with you and, you know, apply to your own life. This is like a Amazon rainforest simulation, and it literally feels like I am in a different climate. So we are back in Stanley Park, and since the first time we explored Stanley Park, we were biking. We didn't really get to see a lot of the sights. We were focused on not falling or running people over. So we're actually going to do a horse-drawn tour, which is an hour of narration about the park and what to see.
The island has a very interesting history. It was originally called Isle of Deadman or Dead Man's Island. Early First Nations people used the island as a burial ground. The large trees that once graced the island, the native people put cedar boxes at the top to hold the remains of a chief or another important member of the tribe. Boxes are often placed in lower branches as well, occasionally even leaves placed at the base of the trees.
So what I didn't know is they actually make pit stops on the horse-drawn tour so you can see up close some of the sights in Stanley Park, like the totem pole. Hello, future Miranda here, editing the video that you're watching now. Yes, I've gotten a haircut. What I have not gotten is the hang of travel vlogging yet. That was the last clip I had from my trip. I did not film a conclusion or a wrap-up, so yeah, trying to get better at this whole travel vlogging thing, but thank you for letting me try something new here on the channel. I really enjoyed being able to capture this trip and share it with you you all. I had a ton of fun on this Vancouver trip. I was so surprised with how much there was to do and the vast like variety of things to do. There's something for everyone. There's, you know, nature and hiking and everything, but then there's also a lot of like urban scenery, and then of course there are beaches too. So you can really just do it all on a vacation to Vancouver. I want to thank Tourism Vancouver for hooking me up with the experiences that you saw in this video, and if there's anything you were interested in and want to learn more about, I will leave the links below to all the tours and attractions that we did. If you like this travel content I've been throwing at you, hit the thumbs up. This is only my second travel vlog, but I really hope to do more and to share with you this other passion that I have in life. Let me know in the comments, out of all of the things that I showed you in this video, what would you most want to explore in Vancouver? If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, become a member of the Slashed Squad, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!